We finally did it, Butler.
Okay.
We're here.
I know.
Don't worry, I got a list of topics to talk about.
Okay.
Okay. Well, this is it. Welcome to the show. My name's Tom. Welcome to the Butler Show. And I'm sitting here with my lovely girlfriend slash fiance, soon to be, slash wifey, Mrs. Tom. This is my girlfriend, Maggie. Say hi.
Hello.
So,
Barely in the big show.
you gotta get up in here.
I want to sit back.
Well, I could scoot this back a little bit, like this.
Anyway.
There. Because I could sit like this. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is this vaccine mandate for the Supreme Court. That goes into effect. Not into effect. They start listening about it today.
Okay.
This is their starting point. So
you
what?
know what happens on a Friday?
Yeah, nothing gets done.
Yeah.
Like it's the
And
weekend.
they shove everything under the rug.
Yeah.
So who knows what's gonna happen?
I don't know. I heard on the radio yesterday that this thing gets put on hold for a moment. So in other words, like when it's the thing that Joe Biden put in there, it says that it takes into effect January 10th. Okay, which is
Like 4 days from now.
Monday, I think, is the date. So because the Supreme Court is going to hear on this, it puts a hold on it. I think. You have to look it up. You guys have to look it up. So, yeah, it's the whole thing of 100 businesses, or businesses with 100 people or more have to do this. Have to do this vaccine mandate. I have a mute button. It came out before I hit it. It's okay. This is where you trial and error here.
I know.
You learn things. You know? Like you and your feet.
Whatever.
Where your feet go. So,
You're fine.
you may have to speak up a little bit louder than what you're doing. Okay.
Anyway.
So, the vaccine mandate goes to the Supreme Court. It's about, any businesses with 100 people, 100 employees or more, they get to either do the COVID testing or the shot for all their employees. Okay? Now here's where I see a couple things wrong here. So let's just say this thing goes into effect. Okay? And I know it's going to scare a lot of people. This thing affects 84 million hardworking Americans. And this thing goes into effect. The backlash is going to be enormous. So what really kind of happens is businesses have to decide if they do the COVID testing for people that don't want the shot. And if you already got the shot, you just prove that you have the shot. Okay?
Right.
So you do weekly testing once a week for all these people that didn't get the shot. And how is that going to work if they can't get the supplies, like the COVID testing kits,
Right.
to the businesses? So if the government is providing the COVID test for the businesses because of their own mandate, and they're short on supplies, but if you violate this mandate, it's $14,000 per violation. This isn't just like your 10 employees didn't get the COVID testing. This is
The tests weren't provided.
tests weren't provided, so now your 5 people, it's not $14,000 for the people, for just your 5 employees. This is, or your 5 employees that haven't got the vaccine. This is $14,000 per violation. So Joe doesn't get his COVID testing because there's no supplies. $14,000 violation. And
Right.
Sarah, same thing. She can't do her testing because the government didn't provide it. $14,000 there. It's fucking nuts. Like, you see how crazy it is?
That's how they want to get their money.
And I don't.
Penalize the company.
So that's coming into effect today. The Supreme Court is going to hear on that today. I've heard that they're going to not pass it. They're gonna put a halt on it as
That
far
doesn't
as
do anything.
like a temporary thing.
They've been halting on everything.
I know. Everything's temporary.
Right.
Temporary. When is it going to be? No, it's shut down. You know?
Have to keep going.
So.
Just one step at a time.
Okay, so I have a lot of people. Just want to chat about that for a second. That's the big thing on my mind today. A lot of people ask me what you do. This is where you chat. It's your turn to talk now. A lot of people ask me what does Maggie do at my work, in my personal life. A lot of people ask me what you do. And I kind of give them this generic answer of, well, she goes to school and she goes to work at the hospital. And I don't know your medical terminology because I'm a caveman. I don't know any of these fancy words here.
Okay.
So, what
I have to
do
sneeze.
you have to sneeze?
Anyway, it'll come sooner or later.
It's fine. Just don't sneeze in the mic if you have to
I'll
sneeze.
sneeze in my water.
Yeah, so it goes everywhere?
Yeah.
That's great. So I say like you're an x-ray tech. You're going to school for x-ray tech and you go to work as an x-ray tech.
Yes.
Okay, let's start at the beginning here. What are you going to school for? Like the actual technical terms here. What are you going to school for?
I'm going to school for radiography.
Radiography.
That's X-ray technologist.
Okay,
We're not technicians.
not technicians.
Technologists. So, radiology technologist is what my title is going to be.
Okay. Radiology technicians? What's it again?
Technologist.
Technologist. See? This is why I
This
don't.
is why I say X-ray tech.
Keep it simple for me.
Yes.
Okay, so what is that entitled? What is that?
That means I X-ray patients at the hospital or people who come in for X-rays,
Okay.
and we do some fluoroscopy.
What is that?
That is where you drink this barium
Okay.
or gastrographin, which is like this liquid stuff, and the radiologist assistant takes X-rays as you're swallowing this white opaque liquid.
Okay.
It's to see how your esophagus works and your intestines work. See if there's any leaks or hernias. See if your anatomy's okay.
How does that taste?
I have no idea.
Have you ever had any?
No. I
Okay.
need to, just so that I can say,
You
hey,
got-
it tastes like this.
You got like a frame of reference?
Yeah, no.
All right. So then after they drink all this, I don't know, like fancy milk? What's it look like?
It's white.
Okay, so fancy milk.
Sure.
Probably real nasty tasting fancy
It's
milk.
chalky.
Ooh. So
Yeah.
chalky milk.
And they flavor it.
Oh, nice. What
Yeah.
flavors do they have? I like the strawberry vanilla,
They have like a berry mixture.
like grapes.
No, like strawberry, blueberry or something. I don't know. It says it on the bottle. I've never looked.
Can I add coffee creamer to mine?
No.
Okay. Because I like a little bit of coffee creamer.
No.
Just a little
No,
bit.
you don't. You add too much.
I add too much?
Yeah.
Like
Too
just a
much
just a
coffee
little, just
creamer.
like bloop.
No, you don't. You go bloop.
No, I don't add that much. I go
Yes,
blip.
you do.
Just
no.
a blip.
No, like 4 times.
What? No.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Fake
Yes,
news.
It's not fake news.
Fake news.
No.
Okay. So you drink this chalky milk
Mhm.
that tastes like strawberries,
Yeah.
They determine if there's any leaks in, like, basically like your organs, right?
Well, in
Your esophagus and your stomach,
and your
intestines.
Yeah.
And then after that,
See if you can, like, if you have any strictures,
Yeah.
which are closings
okay.
in your esophagus or your intestines, and yeah, once it goes past your stomach, you're usually done with the test, but it depends on what they want you to do. Sometimes you have to drink a whole jug.
Ew.
Yeah.
That sounds gross.
It just depends on what kind of test. Like a small bowel follow through, that one you have to, it takes hours.
Small.
Sometimes.
Say that again.
So
Small bowel
follow through.
follow through. Okay.
That's your small intestine.
Right.
And they're wanting it to go through your small intestine and see how long it takes, and that's when you have to drink the big jug.
Sounds gross. I was
Yeah.
hoping it would just be like a shot.
No.
It's not a shot?
No.
Or like a
Sometimes
cup
it's
like this?
No.
It's like
We-
a gallon?
We give them a cup that's like this,
Okay.
and the not jug, but the bottles are like this tall, and they're like that round. So I don't know. Some people drink all of it. Some people don't. Depends on the test.
So after the test, and let's say I'm up in there, okay? And I drink this chalky strawberry milk that
Yeah.
probably tastes like, you
Gross.
know, the powdery stuff on chalkboards.
Yeah.
Yeah? And it's
Yeah.
just that in a cup with water, and it's, you stir it, and
Yeah.
it's just thick. That's kind of what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
Let's say I drink it, and there's no leakage. I'm sure if there's like, oh yeah, your stomach, it's leaking out the side,
Well, that's
that would be a very bad thing.
bad.
But let's say there's no leakage. Then what? Then what do?
You go home.
Where's the x-ray part?
They do that while you're drinking the stuff.
Oh, so this is at the same time.
Yeah.
So while it's going through me,
Yes.
I'm sitting in the machine with the little clicker, and you just
Yeah.
like kind of.
We don't do that part. That's because the radiologist assistant, he has to see like how it's moving in your body
Okay.
when it goes down.
All right.
So
So that's, where do you fit in all this?
we just hand them the stuff.
That's it?
Yeah. Then we help the patient.
Do you press the button for the x?
No,
Oh,
not in fluoro.
you're just like a helper, the x-ray
Yeah.
helper. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go up to the person that actually hits the button? You don't want to?
No, that's more school.
Oh,
I'm done with school.
you're done with
after
school
this.
after this. Okay.
No, not doing this. No more school.
No more school. Okay. So that's what you do.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add to that?
No. Usually just take X-rays.
And that's it. Just hang out at the hospital. What is the craziest? What are some crazy things you've seen there? You've already been there for, I don't know how long.
Like a month and a half.
A month and a half. What are some crazy things that have happened? So like moments that stick out in your mind of like, you know, holy shit, I remember when this guy was blah blah blah, being combative or not following instructions, or, you know, bitching the whole time, or
No.
any of those? You don't have
Not
any of those yet?
No. I'm in clinical. I X-rayed a lady that out at South.
Yeah.
She broke her humerus, and she came in for the doctor wanted a shoulder X-ray, and I was like, okay, yeah, it was broken.
Now remind me where the humerus is.
Right here.
Up here?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm not a doctor. I don't know any of this stuff.
it's your arm.
It's your arm. So she came in.
Her arm was broken.
Okay.
Her upper arm.
Yeah.
She didn't know.
How do you not know?
She just said let it hurt a lot.
Wouldn't that be a concern?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be like, hey, I got some pain over here?
That's why she went to the emergency room.
Okay. So that's a good one. That's a story you could share for the moment. I'd like to hear more, because I'm sure like over the next years that you'll be there,
Oh yeah.
I want to hear more.
Okay.
Tell me all the stories, all the crazy stories, because you know all the crazy stories I could share about the store.
Yeah, I know.
So, okay, so I told everybody we would talk about dogs.
Yeah.
Doggos, puppos, all the dogs. So,
Dogs.
they're great, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, I got some bullet points
I've
here.
had some dogs in my time.
Yeah, I have some dogs in my time as well. I have some bullet points here that I want to cover. When were you first introduced to dogs? Do you remember?
I mean, we got a dog when I was 8.
Okay.
It was my first dog, essentially. We had cats before then.
No. Cats don't count. We're talking about dogs.
I know. I'm just saying, we had 2 cats before that, and then my dad was like, "Oh, let's get a dog."
Okay. What was the dog?
The dog was a golden retriever.
What was his name?
Her name.
Her name. What was her name?
Her name was Misty.
Misty. Okay.
Got her for my 8th birthday. Yeah.
Was she your dog?
She was my dog, technically.
Yeah. Did you spoil her and treat her really well?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
She was a good dog.
How old was she?
What do you mean?
How old was the dog?
She was a puppy.
A puppy? Okay.
No, she was 8 weeks
Oh.
when we got her.
How'd you get her? You don't remember?
I don't know. She showed up on my birthday.
She's just like, here. Did Dad put her in a big
Dad's
box?
like, no.
Did he walk in with her with a bow on her head?
I guess he walked in with her or something. She was in the back in the screen porch. I don't know. I don't remember. I was 8. Sorry.
So her name was Misty.
Yeah.
How long was she here on the planet? How
Um,
long did she live? Give or take.
2009? She was here with Buddy, my other dog,
Yeah.
and Boss and Lola got to meet her too.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I know Boss
Or
and Lola.
Boss got to meet her. I do know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2008 or 2009.
Okay. See, I know Boss and Lola.
Yeah, I know.
Boss is very chill,
Because she's an old lady now.
and Lola
She's
is
crazy.
she's a sporadic nut.
They didn't think that through.
I guess not. Boss and Lola are Maggie's sister's dogs. Are they both? Both are a little bit kind of in the older ages, past 10 at least, right?
Boss is 14.
Yeah.
Lola's, I don't know, 10, I think. Maybe 8.
Now, is Boss like a dark lab?
She's a mix.
She's a mix.
She's a black lab something.
Black lab mixed with something else.
Yeah.
What's Lola?
They don't know. She's a mutt.
She's just a mutt,
They think
a big angry
there's,
mutt.
like some type of retriever in her, but then they think there's like a little bit of pit bull in her. I don't know. She's a teddy bear though.
And once she calms down, she's a
Yeah,
teddy
I
bear.
know. After she barks at you.
She
for
barks
5
at you and
minutes.
tries to figure out who you are and why you're here.
Yeah. I mean, she still barks at me, but she's like, bark, 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 and then she's like, but pet me.
Yeah. Oh, it's just you.
Oh, it's you.
And then
I
she'll
know
kind of
you.
like bark in like. Ruff, ruff.
Yeah.
It's
She's
like,
got-
I know
that's
you're
her
here,
guard dog.
but I'm not barking like to alert. I'm here, just kind of in the corner, just like I'm watching you,
And
making
that's
sure-
That's to you.
Yeah, that's to me. But then she comes over and shoves her butt in my face, and I'm just giving her all the butt scratches.
Because she knows.
And then she does the thing with her neck, where they go like
fine.
this.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
you're fine. It's just that first 2 or 3 minutes of entering the home, she
Yeah.
doesn't know who I am.
No.
But then when she comes over and snips my hand, and she's like, "Oh, it's you,"
Yeah.
as I was.
Yeah.
I'll go over here, lay down, take a nap.
Yep.
Okay, so, Buddy, your beloved Buddy. Let's
Yeah.
talk about Buddy.
What about Buddy?
What was Buddy?
He was a beagle.
He was a beagle. I know you're a beagle lady.
Yeah. Got Buddy when he was almost a year old. Yeah. We lived in an apartment for a month.
An apartment? I didn't know that. Which ones?
The ghetto ones at 51st and Harvard.
Oh, over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He lived there for a month,
Yeah.
and then he lived over in
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are some interesting stories to share about Buddy?
He was lazy.
He was lazy.
Yeah.
Now, beagles, you're supposed to like take care of them. Like you're supposed to get them exercise. Did you exercise, Buddy?
No, not really.
Not really. You're supposed to watch the treats. I know I've seen some pictures where he was a little round.
Yeah.
So let's just say that.
He liked his treats and his naps.
And his naps.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't very much a guard dog. You'd come in the house, he'd be on the couch, he'd just lift his head, and you'd be like, oh, okay, it's you. Go
Like,
back to sleep.
taking a nap, just kind of do that thing where he lifts his head up. Who's there? Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
you. Back to sleep.
Yeah.
Yep. And he liked to bury socks. Or he liked socks.
Oh, he liked to eat socks.
He liked to eat socks.
And
So
he
you had
liked
to-
to bury them.
And he liked to bury them.
Mom says Dad's found socks in the backyard still.
See, that's nice. I like hearing stuff like that. This is years after he's passed. And you still find little trinkets
Yep.
of like stuff of just like, oh, here's a sock that he buried back in the day, back when he was still with us. And now, years later, we find it buried like in a flower patch or by the tree or some kind of dirt pile in the backyard.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's almost like, they're sending a message of just like, hey, I'm doing okay, from beyond,
Yeah.
I bury a sock. You'll find this years later. Or however that works. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. So, yes, I've had dogs in my day. When I was a kid, I had 3 huskies at the same time and a Dachshund.
That's a crazy house.
Yeah. Now, the 3 huskies, they were outside dogs.
Still.
So they stayed outside.
Yeah.
When it got really hot, we took them inside because
Yeah,
they can't
don't.
handle it.
They don't.
But like today, where it was 19 degrees this morning.
Yeah. Cold.
Yeah, they're fine. They had like their own little pen where they would dig holes,
Yeah.
and that's what huskies do. They dig holes. They sit in the hole so they don't get the wind.
To cool them off too.
Yeah, like they'll do that to cool off, and they'll do that to protect themselves from the actual cold when they're like, oh, this is too cold for me.
Right.
And then I had a Dachshund. His name was Fred.
Oh, Fred.
He was
yeah.
my grandma's dog. He was kind of round for a Dachshund. Little bit round for a Dachshund.
Buddy was round.
Well, Fred was round too, and he was an inside dog. He liked to go under beds when it didn't have to be thunderstorming or raining or anything. He liked to go under beds and like to sleep under the beds.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you would hear this digging, just like, what are you doing down there, Fred? And he's like digging up the carpet.
Whoops.
Yeah. But like I don't know what he was trying to do, if he was just trying to get comfortable, how like
Yeah.
a dog will sit on a blanket and do like that rotating thing, the nesting, and then he'll rest. He'll just like, all right, this is my spot. I guess he was trying to do that under the bed.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. So, and then I had 3 huskies. Princess was the mom. Then we had a brother or a son dog. His name was Herman. And then we had a girl dog. Her name was Missy.
Okay.
And we had those guys. I loved Missy because, Herman was a boy dog. He just kind of did his own thing. He had one ear up and one ear down.
Uh-huh.
So he was like that. And Missy was both ears up. Herman had, I think it was Herman. He had a brown eye and a blue eye. So he had different color eyes.
That happens.
I know. I'm just trying to remember if it was Herman or Missy. I think it was Herman. Princess was just a big old husky.
Yeah.
She's just like, I'll do what I want. You kids calm down over there. I'll do what I want.
Oh, sure.
And so I had those three huskies.
Yeah.
So I've been around big dogs. That was probably when I was, I don't know, when I start remembering life, which was probably about 4 or 5 years old. You start kind of remembering stuff. You just kind of wake up. It's weird how you just kind of wake up in life and you're just like all of a sudden you're 3 and you're like, this is my truck. That's like the first thing you remember in your whole life. It's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
But like 4 or 5, that's when I was like, they were there.
Those are your dogs.
They were there before I was born. So I was born into the pack.
Yeah.
If you want to say it like that. And yeah, that's it. So I was basically raised around big dogs.
Yeah.
And then they crossed the Rainbow Bridge, a while afterwards. They probably passed when I was about in my teens, 13, 14, 15, somewhere in that time frame. So I had a good time with them. And then we had Fred forever. I swear he got to like 18 years old.
Wow.
Like he was 16, 17. He was like, this guy's gonna live forever. And then of course, when he passed in January, probably around March. So like 3 months later, we got my precious little bit, that little snot rag, that little annoying little bastard. He was great. He was a great dog. How we got him, I don't remember how we got Herman, Missy, Princess. I don't know. They were there before I got there.
Right.
But I tell you how we got Little Bit. He was a stray. And
Your mom probably fed him all those treats.
yeah, we lost our big Dotson, Fred.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we don't know what to do. Do we want to get another dog? We don't know. So, excuse me. Our neighbor's Dotson got out.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know where that Dotson went, but I guess that their dog got out. I don't know. So that was our next door neighbor. Our neighbor beside them, so 2 houses down, they saw a Dotson running around in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, that must be my neighbor's dog because they lost their dog. There's a Dotson running around outside. I'll just scoop him up, drop him over on the fence, and there you go. He's home. Just don't get out again. Neighbors got home, and they said, that's not our Dotson.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're going to take his ass to the pound. And our neighbor, who dropped the dog off, he was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I know somebody who might want this dog.
Yeah.
Because they just lost theirs, 3 months previous. So he goes over and talks to us, and he goes, hey, we found a Dotson. Would you like it? He looks just like Fred. He's just smaller. Hence why we called him Little Bit.
Yeah.
So we went over there and we saw him, and they had him in the tub for some reason. They were fucking around with him, trying to wash him and clean him, and he's having none of it. None of the washing.
He didn't like water.
So they gave him to us. Mm-hmm. Ooh, excuse me. They gave him to us, and we gave him like a test drive. So like, have him for 1 week. This was my mom's thinking. We're going to have him for 1 week. And if we like him, we'll keep him. Sure. And if we don't like him, then we'll send him to the pound. So, of course, during that week, my grandmother and I were loving on him. He's a great dog. My mom is buying toys for him during the week.
Well, yeah,
So
he wants another dog.
right, buying toys for him through that week. At the end of the week, she goes, "Okay, I don't want him." My grandmother and I both have a fucking fit. We're just like, no, we want to keep this dog. We're keeping this goddamn dog. So we named him Little Bit. We named him Little Bit like the second day we had him.
You're already attached.
So we're already getting attached
like
to this dog.
Kevin.
It's like our stuffy Kevin. We bought it for your nephew, and, you know, we had him, and we were playing around with him, and we decided to keep him.
We decided to keep him. You did.
He's a little stuffed animal, and he sleeps in the bed a lot. So, yeah.
Anyway.
So then we get Little Bit, and yeah, we spoil him rotten.
Yeah.
And we train him. We try to get him housebroken. I know it's easier said than done. And there was one time, I've already told you this story, but I'll tell it again to the people who have not heard this. There was one time that my mother and I were loading groceries into the house. Okay? And I don't know what set this up, but we left the door open, the kitchen door. Garage door led to the kitchen. And we had like this little area that led into the dining room and the living room. Well, last thing I knew, Little Bit was on the couch.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, Little Bit, you stay there. We're going to load groceries and we're going to keep the door open. So we're like, okay.
You never leave the door open.
Oh, I know now.
Never.
So we're loading groceries up. Everything's going fine. And then all of a sudden, I hear this little tappity tap tap of feet on the concrete. And all I see is Little Bit just run past me, and he's going his ass up the road.
Yeah.
He's hightailing up the road. So I'm like, you son of a bitch. So I don't remember what shoes I was wearing. I don't think they were the best shoes in the world, but I don't care. I took off after his ass.
Yeah.
Right after him. So I'm running up the neighborhood, and I'm yelling at him, and he's running. He's like, oh yeah, I'm having a good time. And I'm like, you know, probably about 20 feet behind him. Those little fuckers are fast.
Oh, I know.
Real fast. I'm like, come on, Little Bit, stop, please. I'm going through a mix of emotions. So I'm like, please stop. And I'm like, you better run, you little bitch. I'm going to catch your ass. I'm going to beat your ass. So it's a little bit, I'm like, come on, just come back home. And a little bit of, you better run. So he runs all the way at the end of the road and dips behind somebody's backyard.
Uh-oh.
So he's like jumping in their garden. Okay? So he goes around to the left side of the house and to the backyard. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to cut him off. So I'll go around the front or the right side and then go in the backyard. I kind of know their backyard a little bit. I know he can't go too far back there, but I do know there's ways to get out. So they didn't have a fence.
Yeah.
So it was all open. So I know if he went to the left and I went off to the right, I'd kind of cut him off. So he's jumping in their little garden that they have in the back. And if you watch the police, the cop show where they like tackle people in like random places, that's kind of what happened. He was jumping around, and I'm just like, oh, there he is. He's over there. And then I just go, whoosh, and just tackle him right in the garden. I'm grabbing him. He's trying to squirm because he thinks, oh, this is still a game. This is fun. Yay. And, yeah, we had a nice long discussion when we got home. Nice long discussion. So, lot of talking.
Yeah.
We've recorded now for about 35 minutes. I know you already have stuff you need to do today.
Yeah. Gotta go to work.
So, yeah, and I have to do laundry today.
Woo.
Yeah, it's great. So,
Don't freeze.
yeah, I hope the pipes don't freeze.
No, I'm just saying you.
Oh.
Outside.
Well, I'll wear enough clothing while I'm doing laundry to not freeze.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So, well, we had another one that we wanted to get to. It was training tips and tricks for dogs. We may have to cover that on another show
Oh, no.
because, this is just kind of a trial run. We're doing a test here, making sure everything's good. And, we're going to have shows kind of like this. There'll be times where you sit down and you talk about other things. There's times that I will sit down with just me. Let's say I can't get somebody in here. I'll talk about something. And then there'll be times where other people will come in. Did I cover that one? Other people will come in and I'll have somebody come in the show and they want to talk about, let's say they want to talk about ghosts or paranormal stuff. Don't say the name. I'm sure you already know who I'm talking about.
My brain's not here.
Okay.
So,
You just nod your head and say, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody will want to come in and talk about something, and we'll talk about it for a little bit, and then we'll go off on stories and, branches off and stuff. So, that's kind of the idea of the show.
Yeah.
And, that's it. You like to say anything else? Any closing statements?
No.
Okay. So.
The Butler Show.
Yeah, it's the Butler Show. We'll probably do about once a week.
Okay.
Hopefully. I don't know when the uploads will be up, as far as like they'll be up at the same time every day,
Probably
or same time every week. But we'll do one show a week, and they'll probably be uploaded on the same day. Does that make any sense how I said that?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I do a show on Monday, because of scheduling or whatever, it'll be up Friday. If I do a show on Thursday night, it'll be up Friday. If I do a show on Wednesday afternoon, it'll be up Friday. So it's going to be one of those things. Today's a day of. So it's shooting today, which is January 7th of 2022. No, that was yesterday.
I know.
You're getting confused. It's okay.
That's all the work.
It's they all blend into one.
Yeah, I know.
Today's January 7th of 2022. So it will be up later if everything goes smoothly. Come on, YouTube. Today. So, there you go. Anything else?
No.
Is that it? Okay.
That's it.
All right. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again.